get hella free. Keep it P, never needed you, but you needed me. I got cream, make up pretty clean, push your self-esteem. I get tough in the moment, so I feel like baby king. Cause it's black, the boss setting, so I just like baby B. Bitch, I'm cold, see, so you know it's giving cream. I got hope, when there's not enough, come feel a nigga team.
I was chill, I tell that nigga, he like a baby, carry that all right there. Oh my god, nigga, just shawty got my first, got me clear all right, or I did that nigga, it's a move on my house, give a fuck up on my wrist, on my city, baby, touch that, I make that nigga, I know that I wish, but that's my pocket bitch, mother tell me something from my bitch, she don't switch.
Push a T, push a pound of weed, need a brand new weed. Kill my dog, pussy nigga, please, I go Keanu Reeves. You don't know why you telling me, just let a nigga see. Honestly, I'm not feeling you and you not feeling me. Keep it G, welcome at that age, just let that nigga be. TLC, no I'm finna creep my phone on D&D. That's my song, run that dick to beat up, run that dick to sleep. You ain't P, but you know you beat to me, he beat his me.
I was chill, I tell that nigga, he like a baby, carry that all right there. Oh my god, nigga, cause shawty got my first, got me clear all just or I did that nigga, it's a move on my house, give a fuck up on my wrist, on my city, baby, touch that.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. It's the Hood Mystic, representing hoodmystic.com. And as people join the live, I'll go ahead and discuss some business. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I'm on a new platform, a new system, so I'm not even sure y'all can even hear me or not. I hope y'all can, but if y'all can't, I'm sure y'all gonna let me know. And if y'all can, please let me know. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to be talking a lot of stuff. I might have some jokes. I might talk about your baby daddy. And you might not like that. And instead of being triggered, go ahead, click the link in description, read the full article, and there is no mention of your baby daddy at all. I'm not talking about your baby mama at all. I'm just kicking pure knowledge and science. I am the Hood Mystic. And part of that sentence is hood. So if ever you had a hood conversation, it's never linear. It's generally always circular. You don't know where the point is coming from. You don't know why you talking about it. But eventually it'll all make sense. But if you are a linear thinker, you're not from the hood, and you just want the mysticism, go ahead and join my Substack for as little as $5 a month, which break down to like 75 cents a day. Something real crazy, something real inexpensive. And I'm consistently dropping articles, new moon, full moon, tarot cards, and I'm about to start doing some more psychological things. Basically, I'm working. So if you want to keep track of the work that I'm actually doing beyond all of the subtext, innuendos, and light banter and humor, please join my Substack. The link is in the description. And while we are here, let's talk about this. I am doing something different, doing something new. I'm about to open up a Discord server, and I really just want to be available to the people who really want to make money and want to make money doing e-commerce. And so when we talking about making money doing e-commerce, it's literally a million things. Literally a million things you could particularly sell. Probably even a billion things you could particularly sell on your e-commerce site. So if you want to open up a Shopify store, I will get $100. You will get $100. And we could chop it up on the Discord server about building a better site. If you look at and what I'm showing y'all is my Shopify store. If you look at my Shopify store, everything that's on my Shopify store, every single design, every single concept, everything upon my site, I created it. So I'm saying all of that to say I can help you create yours. Whatever you want to sell, from art to pornographic photos. You want to sell classes, courses. You want to sell twerking instructions. Whatever you want to sell, you can sell it on Shopify. And I want to help you. I've been doing Shopify since 2016. Have I broke the bank and made millions of dollars off my Shopify store? No. But do I make a nice amount of passive income? Yes. Can I help you make money? Yes. I know about the apps. I know basically how to get a Shopify store up and running, marketing, Facebook ads. And you know me, I got a particular niche, spiritual information, spiritual technology. But in reference to you, you don't got to do what I do. You could sell goddamn lingerie or some shit. You could sell any and everything on Shopify. So if interested, click the link in below and I'll have more details about that Discord server, or you could just email me and I'll just add you to a list and we could build on this 24/7, because it's about, at the end of the day, making money. And the thing about me is, because I'm kind of on the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of on the spectrum. I'm not even going to hold you. What that means is I'm not very personable unless we talking about making money. And then I turn into a goddamn evil genius. Okay? So if you're talking about, going to the skating rink, going bowling, high-fiving and slapping ass, I'm going to be a little bit slow. I'm going to be a little bit autistic. I don't know how to do those things. But if you want to talk about running up a bag on Shopify, selling lingerie, then I turn into goddamn Steve Jobs and things of that nature. So once again, thumbs up if you can hear me. And if I don't hear nothing, I'm going to just assume that I cannot be heard. That was the business. Today we're going to talk about the tarot card, the Emperor, or the Emperor Tarot card. The most important thing in studying the Emperor is that you cannot study one card without studying the other card. So throughout this conversation, I will find myself referencing the Empress and the Emperor as a actual energy. And as we go through each and every tarot card, we're learning all of this together. I don't know specifically if they'll all have a specific connection, or I don't know. I'm going through this blind, I'm imagining that they all have some type of connection, like an initial connection of studying the tarot. And my goal is to get a deeper understanding of tarot cards. And that deeper understanding of the tarot cards for me is for the Emperor, what I found is the Emperor card is actually the Devil card, and the Devil card is actually Pan. Right? Because the Emperor is ruled by Aries, and Aries symbolism is a goat. Now that goat is Pan, but the devil tarot card is actually a goat. And that goat is Pan too. So the energy that is the god of the tarot is Pan. You probably won't, if you find that online, share it with me. But this is just a channel that I got from doing this study. And even deeper, this is all about, like, the tarot is all about witchcraft. And it shows you how to do witchcraft. It shows you how to do magic. And it's very esoteric. And its symbolisms is pure symbolisms that allude to a deeper mystery. So one of the key mysteries of the tarot is Pan. And that's just because I've actually been doing the work of studying this tarot, to whereas Pan revealed himself to me in the tarot. So if you look at the Emperor card, right, and then you look at the Devil card, you will see that these are the same pictures. It's the same posture, right? But the difference between the Emperor card and the Devil card is a deeper mystery being revealed, because what you'll see is that and I have to just go ahead and download the Devil card so I can show y'all. How are y'all feeling out there? And I'm doing a different, like, platform, so I don't even know. I could be just talking to myself at this point, but at least I'm recording it. So usually somebody will chat, but at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. It say I'm live. Oh, it say error too. Thumbs up if you can hear me. This is weird. I'm in a weird echo chamber. Anyways, let me go ahead and load this. I'm having an interesting conversation with myself at the end of the day. Okay, cool. At least you can hear me, Jay, because at the end of the day, if nobody was just going to say they can hear me, I was just going to have a polite conversation with my damn self. So we are talking about the mysteries of the tarot, what the tarot reveals, and these are mysteries, meaning that I don't go into the study like, I already know this, so I know what I know. And it's like, yo, people be buying tarot cards and just be reading cards and just be saying shit. You should be insulted, right? So if you look at the Emperor and you look at the Devil, these are essentially the same cards. Essentially the same cards, because what's the underneath energy of the Emperor is the Aries Ram. And what throws people off is that they think they're talking about a constellation, but they're not talking about a constellation, because a constellation is a collection of stars. So when you are listening to, say for instance, you're watching a tarot video and they're going over the Emperor and they're like, the Emperor is ruled by Aries. They don't really feel that. They don't really understand what the fuck they're saying. They seen that shit on Google, right? And then they're like, the Emperor is ruled by Aries. That's an empty, nothing statement, right? Aries has nothing to do with the Emperor more than it has to do with Pan, the god of nature, the god of the wild, the god of sex. So the mystery deepens when you see the Devil, which is an inversion. The star is upside down, and instead of the man being on the throne, Pan is actually on the throne, and he controls you through domestication. Think about this shit. Think about how domesticated your life is, and think about how good you feel to be domesticated. That's an emperor. That's a rulership. That is the Devil, where you have no real free will to even understand spirituality, because you are bound by a misunderstanding of a person saying the emperor is ruled by Aries. What does that mean? What does that mean? And so studying the tarot, it could very well be a pursuit in nothingness. It could be an empty pursuit that will just have you looking at cards. And then because you're not even understanding the mysteries behind what is being presented to you, you might not care about the science at all. You just would just move forward through your life, not understanding metaphysics. So the emperor is not actually the emperor. The emperor is a symbol for Pan. The devil is not actually the devil. It is a symbol for Pan. But who is Pan? Pan is your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind. And it is your job. It is your point of reference for all of survival to be able to perceive and receive messages from your unconscious mind, and then make your law be your life to constantly live up to what your unconscious mind is giving you. Every person that I've ever met have had dreams of grandeur, dreams of success, which come from the unconscious mind. And because it comes from the unconscious mind, we as spiritual beings have to be very smart, very strong, very persistent and consistent to be able to read or perceive what the subconscious mind, or unconscious mind rather, is saying through the subconscious mind. That our conscious experience, what we perceive in our mind, is pure divinity, pure royalty. If in my mind I am royal, then I speak royal, I think royal, and I act royal. If in my mind is brokenness, I think brokenness and I speak brokenness. This is where I'm always trying to heal you. No, I'm always trying to heal myself and projecting my brokenness on you. I'm not trying to heal shit. This is a lecture. This is a understanding that I've come to by meditating and working with the Emperor card. And one of the main disclaimers, one of the main mistakes people overlook this card is that they do not fixate and focus on the symbolism of the emperor more than the projection of a ruling class. Maybe our mothers and fathers have taught us before we could even think, that there were people that were better than us because to explain their iniquity, it was because they had money and we didn't have money. Depending on how you were raised, most of us were raised to project our iniquities onto other people. Very few of us was raised to tune into our unconscious mind. Understand that our unconscious mind is divine and royal. Why is our divine mind unconscious and royal? Because our DNA is unconscious and royal. Because our DNA is a conglomeration of all of our ancestors that ever existing in this present moment through us. That is the emperor. So if you have a Johnny come lately on the block, just by the sheer amount of lack of DNA strands, they cannot compete. So what is to do? We will be dehydrated. We will be fed processed foods. We will be taught no information at all. And when it comes to the root understanding of our history, we are specifically and deliberately taught that we are slaves. So when we are handed the Emperor card, we might easily project this information on Joe Biden and Donald Trump and things of that nature, when in fact the Emperor is actually talking about the royalty of your DNA. So the Emperor then becomes an esoteric. What does esoteric mean? It means hidden. An occult. What does occult mean? It means the hidden world, the inside world, the inner world. So esoteric, occult. We're talking about inner concepts, not projections on the external world. So we're not talking about who's going to be the next president. But even though, right? So I'm going to show y'all something. Let's go. Donald Trump Times Magazine. So I'm going to really show y'all how they use symbolism, they meaning the Johnny come latelys on the DNA spectrum, how they use it as a form of manipulation and control by using this particular esoteric concept. Now we view as probably evil or wrong. So this is the picture of an emperor, and I want you to pay close attention to how his legs are crossed, right? His legs are crossed in what is called a fly-cot cross. Another word for this symbol is a swastika. Okay? So you know when the media wants to put people in a position of royalty, right? So a lot of people view Donald Trump as an emperor, and the symbolism and the ways of working magical ritual on the masses is a very simple process. It's a very simple process. The symbolism will always be there. Even deeper, when you are great at something, when you are the absolute pinnacle of what it is that you call whatever you doing, you know what they call you? They call you a goat, which is another allusion to Pan. Pan is the god of the wilds, and we look at our domestication as the pinnacle of what we should strive to, yet and still we might be disconnected from our ability to do magic, our ability to do witchcraft, our ability to take our lives in our own hands. And the way that we find it is through the energy of the emperor. But the emperor, as I stated earlier, you're not going to be able to understand the emperor if you don't understand the empress. The same way is if all you understood was masculinity and you never understood femininity. So if you understood femininity and you never understood masculinity, I don't know about y'all, but if I'm ever in my full masculine energy, and I have a divine feminine being her full feminine energy, you can call me what you want to call me, but that feel good to understand both polarities and their true essence. Now, some people would be like, I don't need the other polarity to find satisfaction one way or another. And that's a belief that people can hold. But I don't feel that there's much understanding in that. I feel like you can find a lot of biases and you can find a whole bunch of people that support that view. But at the same time, there is no understanding and there's only like high emotion and dogma and a bunch of like bullying and ganging up on people when they don't agree with your dogma or ideations. So understanding is being satisfied and happy in life and being able to just generally enjoy your experience down on this plane. And understanding is found in the Empress and Emperor dichotomy, where we understand God, we're really understanding love. So when you say God, you're also saying love because God is love. And if you are living a life without love, you're living a life without God. And it's so odd to me and so weird to me, and it's very repulsive when people preach spirituality, but they don't preach love between feminine and masculine energies. Because that is the purpose of your existence down here, to master that, to be successful in that, to understand that. And so the divine masculine and the divine feminine is a esoteric concept in all witchcraft and all spirituality, because the things that we're talking about by exploring these tarot cards are the same things that they talk about in the mystery schools. Because when you reflect on the people who have created these cards and these energies were a part of these mystery schools, for one. And for two, this is more of understanding the other side and the other dimension of life through abstraction. So you can look at a symbol, you can reflect on a symbol, you can scry on a symbol, and then you start to see beyond it. This takes patience, this takes time. And I would say you won't even be able to specifically say that that is what you are doing. I would say you would just look at, like I've been doing, going through each card, going through each symbolism, and just taking your notes, doing your videos, and just moving the fuck on. And eventually, the veil will begin to thin or remove itself, and then you begin to see, oh, there is another side to life. There is another dimension to life that you can access, that is very clear, and the messaging is simple. But the thing is, I could have all the information in the world. I could be the smartest person in the world. I can have all the money in the world. I can have the biggest following in the world. But that's not my claim to fame. My claim to fame is love. And if I had all of that and I didn't have the love that is within my heart and within my unconscious mind, and I didn't actually decide to choose love, I didn't reduce myself to people's energies towards me. I raised my energy beyond how people felt about me. And for me, that allowed me to create this connection to the other side. Because God is love. And even deeper, when we're studying this card and we're getting into the science of this card, God is love, and also God is love. This is representing the Emperor and the Empress. And love is very chaotic. Love is very confusing. But then love is also not that. Sometimes we could get into a space where we are not able to see it, we're not able to hear it, we're not able to speak it, and that confuses us and we get frustrated. That's not love. When we talk about the Emperor and we talk about the Empress, what makes them the Emperor and the Empress is their ability to express, their ability to think. So it is a DNA, it is a magnetism, it is a truth. So sometimes we can be outside of our energy so much so, and we'll actually get on Plenty of Fish. We'll be on websites. We'll be like, how do I find a man? How do I find a woman? We'll be extra persistent, ultra eager, put ourselves in situations that we know we really shouldn't be in. And for most of us, we kind of feel like this is the way that we find love, by kind of being proactive and seeking it and going to get it. But in the reference of understanding to the tarot, or in reference to understanding this particular thought of Emperor Empress, this is more of a magnetism, energetic, opposites of track type of thing that probably have existed long before dating apps, long before classified ads, or whatever people use to kind of force the subject of relation in magnetism and attraction and ultimately witchcraft. Because sometimes we sincerely, deeply desire other things besides a relationship or a partner, but even more so when we just try to get money in the world, we tend to put ourselves in negative situations. But when we learn how to magnetize money, when we learn how to charge talismans and charge objects that help us grow our magical things and grow our supply and buy more herbs and get more things that help us in our witchcraft or in our particular magical craft, we begin to get more results with the work that we do. And this is electrical energy, right? Electrical charges things and magnetism magnetizes things. And another word that we define this as love. And another way that we explain this is through God, because God is love and the goddess is love. And if you can really get into the science of love, the theory of love, esoteric love, in the space of like magnetism and doing your work and drinking your herbs and burning your herbs and really getting into the natural body, the homeostasis, taking baths, clearing your mind. If you are a divine feminine, I know that I've worked with too many people that it's like some people I can tell it to and they don't do it, whatever, right? But the people that I tell it to and they do it, oh, they be pulling the niggas. They can pull a nigga quicker than a girl who don't do this. And it's a very simple process. So, once again, what we're talking about in studying the Emperor, and these are deeper reflections on the specific topic of the Empress. We're talking about the electromagnetic spectrum, and we're also talking about sight. The Emperor represents sight. It represents the eyes. It represents the window to the soul. But that also is the electromagnetic spectrum, invisible light. Now, what we choose to perceive and how we choose to perceive it means a lot. You could be living in a small apartment, but it could be a stepping stone to a mansion, and that's how you perceive it. You could be in a small apartment and you feel like this is the best that you can do, but you want a bigger apartment, but you feel negative about your small apartment. So you go to your messy apartment and you don't treat it as if it is a stepping stone and things of that nature. And that's your visible light. That is your Emperor. That is your perception. We are 7.7 billion different perceptions of the same reality, and how we choose to view it becomes to be our magnetism. If you show me something that you hate, I'll show you how you're magnetizing it in your life. If you show me something that you love, I'll show you how you're magnetizing it in your life. I'll show you how you're charging that energy by using your ego to charge it. And now you're magnetizing it. Because this is the life. It's not like life is hard unless you say that your life is hard. If your thing is my life is hard, then that's what it's going to be. But if you say my life is easy, then that's what it's going to be too. Because that's what you charge. And many people live an easy life, a prosperous life, a life like I drive around a lot of different places. And when I drive around, I see a lot of prosperity. I don't see a lot of, like, even where you be like, well, you live in Detroit. Yeah, I do. It's a lot of cars in Detroit. I mean, it's a lot of people driving around, getting to where they need to get to. And that is astounding to me because that's a lot of people charging their energy, getting expansive, getting the things that they want out of life naturally. And that's amazing to me. And I hear a lot of people complain a lot of times, but that's also a point of this is what you feel. This is how you attract. And trust me, it could be different levels of how you feel about yourself because like I said, I'm not the brightest light in the box. I don't even feel that way. I know that's the truth, but at the same time, I can reflect on my perfection and I can grow and expand that even though I'm a few Bud Light short of a six-pack. So the emperor represents sight, observation, the conscious mind, our eyes, and is also the electromagnetic spectrum. It's a very small slice of what we can see. And to expand beyond that, we have to look at the electromagnetic spectrum as our chakra system. Because if you look at the red, you'll see that the red is the lower energy. And this is where we need to activate our root chakra into our solar plexus, into our heart chakra, into our throat, into our third eye, into our pituitary, so we can actually see. So we're no longer blind in this world. So at a certain point, one would say that the spiritual community is certain people. Like I watched this video this morning and people is just like super deep. Like on Black Magic 363, it was this lady on there and she was just deep for no reason, in my opinion. It's like this ever pressing need to find the deepest nigga ever within the spiritual community. And I feel like, advanced statisticians and, people who just tap into just all types of shit, and I feel and I think, and these people over here and these people over there, and this is fake because this is what I feel and think, and I've come to this conclusion. I'm like just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And it keeps the people going. It feeds their ever need for something deeper. But at the end of the day, it's like the simple things of activating your root chakra and charging your electric energy and activating your magnetism is not even something that people would even prioritize. And then understanding the difference between solar plexus and the heart chakra, conditional love versus unconditional love, being able to speak your truth because you're surrounded by people who love you unconditionally. these are things that people don't really desire. They really desire the nigga that's floating and meditating, or the bitch that's, saying the most futuristic science fiction type of shit. And when it comes to your DNA in your vessel, that's like, too simple and too basic. Well, the emperor is simple and is basic, and it represents your initial psychic site. So the emperor, the ruler, the leader, is basically the sperm of magical processes. So to simplify what I just said in these past 3 minutes, if you seen a baby, when you was a kid and you asked your mama and your daddy, like, where do babies come from? And they told you a stork came, right? And as a kid, you was like, damn, storks deliver babies, right? Then, as you got older, your root foundation was that storks deliver babies. But since it's not true and you can't really explain it, you need to develop more and more advanced theories surrounding how and why a stork deliver babies. So now you resorted to the doctor is actually a stork that have transformed into his human form to deliver the baby. And the reptilians is like, you just start thinking more wilder and wilder shit. But if you initially would have told your son that how I got this baby was that your daddy hit me with some straight up and down sex, missionary style hucklebuck. What's the hucklebuck, mommy? That's where mommy's knees is touching her ears. And your daddy is like doing up and down sex until he get finished. And at that time I was ovulating. And so a sperm ovulated my ovum. And then we had a conception period. And now I'm in my second trimester. And once the baby gets to the third trimester, it's going to come out of the same place that daddy was doing his up and down sex. So that's how babies come. You wouldn't need no advanced metaphysics on how babies come. So when you hear people pontificating on spirituality for hours and it don't really make sense and it's a bunch of I feels and I thinks, that's because they don't know the truth. They don't spend time in dealing with the truth. They just spend time in cultivating their audience by giving them more and more and more fantasy. But what do we know about fantasy? Fantasy is not true, right? Fantasy is not real. What is real is that you have a body. What is real is that you have magnetism. What is real is that you have electric energy surging through your nervous system at this very moment. So the best thing that's already advanced, nigga. You can never think about how your neurons travel up and down your spine, bro. There's no way you can conceive of that, bro. So just forget about ever being an advanced spiritualist. Throw it, because you got too much pussy to get in your life to be ever trying to worry how your neurons fire up and down your spine. All you got to think about is, am I charging my energy to magnetize that which I desire? Am I doing the things? So why is Pan the ruler of the tarot? Because Pan is the ruler of nature. Pan is the ruler of everything outside of the visible spectrum. This is why, bro, just Google the god Pan. Get on YouTube, listen to the stories about, watch the movie The Witch that came out in 2015. You got a society of people who trying to live normal, but it's this energy out in the woods that make them go crazy. not really crazy, but it can't blend the spiritual world and the normal world. Meaning that it can't blend the ultraviolet rays, the X-rays, the gamma rays, the infrared rays, the microwave rays, the radio waves. All of these waves is happening simultaneous to the electromagnetic, the visible rays. So the things that we can see is a small slither of what's actually happening. But when you get outside of what you actually can see and you actually perceive it, it's gonna drive you fucking crazy up a wall. Because you thought that everything that you're seeing with your 3D eyes is all that there is to see. So the difference between you and your mama is that she perfectly cool with the 3D world. You, on the other hand, based upon your Pluto placement, see further beyond the 3D dimension. Every child, the veil gets a little bit thinner for every child. We all go deeper into seeing beyond the veil. This is why this generation of kids, they actually get born with a phone attached to their palm now. It's some wild shit. And that's actually dealing with the different types of electromagnetic spectrum waves from phone to phone, which is actually spiritual device and spiritual technology. So we looking at this from the perspective of Emperor, Empress. Emperor, Empress. Now, looking at it just simply Emperor, that's like looking at a cog and saying this is the only cog I need. Well, if you have a cog and that's the only cog you need, bro, and then you have a watch and you have one cog, what's the matter? The watch is not working. That watch is useless. So when you have individuals, selfish individuals, that person is essentially, generally, useless to the workings of the clock, to the workings of the spirit. Like, we have to get to a point where we're so interdependent, not independent, not dependent, but interdependent, that we move when we move together, then things start to work. This is why the emperor and the empress, we're talking about royalty. We're talking about exaltation. The empress magnetizes the emperor. This is why when you get into a certain status or you get into a certain purpose, no matter your age, you could be 16 and be into your purpose, you magnetize, and it's like the cream rises to the top, okay? Water seeks its own level, okay? So the type of women that you've attracted, this is going to be a hard hit for a lot of you dudes. It's going to be a real hard hit. The reason that you've attracted women who have put you in child support, the reason why you attracted women who've taken advantage of you is because you have no understanding of magnetism in your divine feminine energy. As a man, you don't know what it feels like to be magnetized by a divine feminine because you're in what you like. We are taught things and we are then like using that to justify the shit that we are taught. Men are hunters. Men are hunters. Some men are hunters. We all not hunters though. Like, it's a majority of us men who have never hunted a day in our lives. We have never got a bow and arrow. We had never killed a deer. No, we is domesticated. We are domesticated. So you can say men are domesticated. You can't say men are hunters. So if you a hunter, then you a hunter, but generally speaking, we go to the grocery stores and we get, hamburger meat and we cook hamburger helper. We didn't hunt for that. It's not even a thing. So to bring it back into a biological sense, Your electric energy is your power. And the things that you do to stay in tune with your electrical energy, to be electrifying, to be exciting, to be, on the precipice of the moment, and to really be here, right? You gotta think about, you as a man, you gotta think about working out, you gotta think about your energy, you gotta think about your blood, you gotta think about your testosterone. This is this is electricity. This is your God force energy. And if you just a lazy, you know, like a man that's like, working, getting a little direct deposit, you get off work and you go home and you just sit down or whatever, whatever sometimes we got to sit down, but sometimes we got to stand the fuck up. Like, it got to be times in our lives as men that we stand the fuck up and we exercise and energize our lives. That is it, bro. And then not only that, what is the magnetism in the divine feminine? That is something that's not being taught in mass. In mass, like, it's sad. It's sad, but a woman will have a deeper relationship with her supervisor and her manager and her quote unquote boss, right? Be very submissive and strive to have a positive relationship with her superiors. But in relationships, it's not that much of an effort. And I'm not saying that a man have to be superior, but I'm saying the understanding of mutual goals in relationships and the wantingness. Not even so, let's just backtrack and deal with this from pure energetic points. Everything is magnetized. This is why in this card, this is why I'm gonna show y'all. If you look at the Emperor card to the left, you don't see it. You don't see it as the Emperor by itself. This is from Milo Manara. The Emperor is chosen by the Empress. The Emperor is chosen by the Empress. So, as a divine masculine, if your divine feminine does not magnetize you, you don't even know what it feels like to be in a relationship. That's how crazy it be. Cause you done did the most to get some pussy or to feel something from a woman. At the end of the day, when she tired of you, bro, she put you on child support. She divorced you. Look at Tyrese, bro. You can love a woman with all your heart, bro, but if she did not magnetize you, don't even deal with it, bro. Let it go. Cause she gonna let it go, but when she let it go, she gonna drop you from the top of a cliff, and she don't care how hard it hurt when you fall to the bottom. I'm telling y'all this, and y'all can get mad at it, but I stand on this like I stand on anything. If she doesn't magnetize you, if she doesn't choose you to be in a relationship with, do not pursue her. Do not show her any interest. Put it on your purpose. I don't care how you feel about her, because how she feels about you is key. That's very key. Your love, this is something that's very powerful. Your love does not create love for her. Like, you can't, she be like, well, why you love him? Because he just loves me so much that it just forced me to love him. It don't work like that. Shout out to Woo Got It with the super chat. My Naga for real. Appreciate that, Woo. Seriously. And that's where we get messed up about a lot of things. We don't understand the process of my magnetism, L, electricity. It's a simple formula, guys. It's a simple formula that allows you to get everything that you want in life, out of life. But if you're not taught this, we're taught that a stork we're taught about Santa Claus. We're taught about the Easter Bunny. We're not taught about the inner workings of how things are to actually be. Because that would make us actually powerful if we knew how things worked spiritually. Imagine if you want to date and a girl tell you, oh, I read tarot cards, or, oh, I'm into astrology. You're like, okay, that sounds good, sis. Right? At this point, it's like, whatever now. You want IG, and if a girl say, I'm about to start a spiritual channel, for what? Why you want to start a spiritual channel, but this whole time you've been talking about, gargling balls. At that point, I felt like we should do a OnlyFans, not spiritual. Cause y'all gotta understand, I started this channel with no hopes of nothing. Cause this is just my passion, bro. I started this channel. You can see when this channel was started in 2015. It wasn't, oh, if I can get monetized and if I can sell products and this, that, and the third. Like, people had to tell me that shit. Like, bro, I feel you, but yo, you got a website, you got a YouTube channel, and you ain't monetized shit. Like, that's weird to me. And I'm like, that is kind of weird. I should monetize something, shouldn't I? Yeah, bro, that's kind of, okay, cool. So, I'm saying, like, I really do care. I will do this. Like, I do this shit for free, bro. Like, honestly, you really, like, find something that you love, and if you can do it for free, then that matter. Like, bro, I do this shit for free, bro. I do this shit because I'm already in the energy of magnetism and electrical. And, bro, I'm gonna tell you, doing this type of work, bro, I've been getting a lot of nudes via email. Me and my wife be looking at them. I be getting a lot of nudes, bro. And I just be doing the work. I ain't even gonna lie. Chicks that was acting real funny last year been sending me penny pictures, just like, if you ever decided like you wanted to like fuck something or you wanted some pussy, like you can have this if you want it. I'm just like, just putting it out there. Like, I don't even know what to say. I'd be just like, man, that ass is fat. Just like, I don't know what to say. Ooh, that look nice. Like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't ask for this. I'm just studying the emperor. I'm gonna tell y'all I'm gonna show y'all what this card look like in the Voodoo Tarot deck, since we deep diving and doing a lecture on the esoterics. Let's look at the Voodoo Tarot deck, Emperor, and I'm gonna tell you why. You know what I mean? They be like, yo, they be sending them texts all of a sudden. Cause what I say, if she ain't choose you, she about to abuse you. If she ain't choose you, she about to abuse you. What does the Emperor card look like in the Voodoo Tarot deck, you might ask? It's more tapped into the energy. It looks like a cock. A big hard cock. Pause. Voodoo Tarot deck wasn't playing. Right? It's a penis. This is the symbol of the emperor, the symbol of an obelisk. It's a symbol of desire. It's the symbol of, I'm gonna tell you what, bro. Girls be like, I don't like when dudes be sending dick pics until you send one that they like, bro. She don't be talking about the one that, you know what I'm saying, got the nigga, you know what I'm saying. My apartment is 226-5938. Hold on, let's do a FaceTime real quick. You do a FaceTime? Now let me see if that's really, 269-15 Bell Street, apartment 38. The concierge already know you coming. Yeah. I told him, when you open the door, run to the elevator, hit 2. And I told the concierge that you would be renting. I'm going to be laying here missionary. I'm trying to do some up and down sex because I want to have a baby with you. Well, sis, I thought you said, la, la, la. You didn't like dick. La, 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 la. Pics. La, la. 269-15 Bell Street. Hurry up. Run. You need an Uber? I'm going to get you an Uber XL. Don't even worry about it. They outside right now. It's my neighbor. He outside. It seemed like you not running fast enough. It just seemed like you kind of taking your time. Like, lose your breath while you running. I don't want a soft, patient jog. I want you to sprint. When I said run, I didn't mean jog. I mean sprint, yes. I'm going to get on the phone with the Uber XL driver. I'm going to tell his ass to step on it. I'm going to give him a $100 tip. Listen, I don't care if the police is following y'all. This is not what we here to do. Drop this nigga off at my house and then you deal with the police afterwards. Thank you. I'm telling you, this Emperor energy, this Loco energy, she will tell you, she will show you she wants you. Now, this is how you feel about yourself. It's how you exude your electrical energy. It's how you stand in your masculine, which makes you desirable to the feminine. And it's not all about having the biggest Johnson & Johnson, although that helps. That don't never keep you out of love. Okay? Don't ever get that confused. Because at a certain point, you got to be like Patrice O'Neal. Patrice O'Neal's like, I don't got the biggest whatever. He walked around with a suitcase of toys. He was going to satisfy you at all costs. You feel me? You walk around. This is why some dudes, y'all might not. This is gonna get real nasty. This is why some dudes like to watch their girlfriends have sex with dudes who are like super viral, because they know they can't actually satisfy their woman like that. And it's a lot of men like that, bro. There's a lot of cucks out here. Like, because, that's some real nigga shit right there. I'm not that strong. I don't think I can handle that. But shout out to the dudes that can handle that and tapped into the energy so strong like they is. But me, you gonna get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. So the Emperor energy, the Empress energy, is been discussed for millions of years, and it's yab yum. Why is it discussed for millions of years? Because it's just like life. It's how life and ancestry and memory and abilities and talents and skills, it gets transferred from generation to generation. It is through the father and the mother. And this is very common. This is very regular. And we can look at it as a husband and wife to a person who never magnetized love in their life and really worked on their energy, like a woman who don't take rose baths and anoint their body and oil their body down, keep their body soft, keep their body nice and supple, and they skin together. A lot of these chicks be busy working, don't got time to really take care of their body, oil their body, massage their hair, really take care of themselves for real, right? And be in the energy of magnetism that every time you go outside, you look like a delicate, supple, soft flower, right? You just going out looking like you about to work security for Usher. You got to keep the bitches away type shit. Like, your energy is just giving testosterone and not estrogen right now. You don't take baths, you take quick showers, right? Well, your baths increase your estrogen. Your estrogen increase your magnetism, your clarity, your discernment, which is a very powerful thing when it comes to choosing a nigga. See, y'all don't choose men. Y'all let men choose you. Y'all do not choose men. Y'all let men choose you. And then y'all be real confused as why the relationship didn't work out. Because his love does not equate to your love. Any girl that I deal with is because I knew for a fact that she loved me way before I even knew she existed. She done stalked me, know my whole background and shit. Oh, you done peeped me. You done peeped me. You done looked in and out of me, and even though you see some shit, you still want to fuck with me. Okay, cool. Right? I'm not gonna ever pursue. I'm 38, bro. It ain't never a woman that I see doing something that I'm just like, oh, I gotta have that. That's like me seeing a cat walking down the street and me saying, oh, I gotta pick up that cat. Man, I'm already knowing that if you pick up a cat, it's gonna scratch the fuck out of you. No matter how I feel about the cat. I could love the cat, think the cat is the prettiest cat in the world, bro. You run up on a cat, you pick it up, bro. I'm not gonna bother no woman in life, bro. I'm not gonna ever bother a woman and knock on your door or DM you or no shit like that. Oh, I'm so interested in you. Never. Never. Because you should do your due diligence and figure out if this is something that you want. 10 times out of 10, I'm married with 4 kids. So I'm expecting you to be a real type psycho type shit, right? You gotta be really about some type of weird shit to just be like, yeah, I want a nigga that's married with 4 kids. And I think that that's a possibility, but I'm also knowing that you weird as shit, and that's what I like. Like, if I'm out and about and you see me out here with muscles and shit like that, I'm out here looking like Ogun and shit like that. You think that this is what you want? I tell you, I got 4 kids. You look at me like with the bitter beer face, shooting up the club. I ain't what you think I am. So, yeah, magnetism is how you find love. Wisdom is how you find love. And it's really dealing with your energy. And your energy is very much of like, have to kind of go 2 and 2 together. So what am I talking about? Say for instance, you hearing what I'm saying and you want to be magnetic, but you look like Lawrence Taylor. Like, you, man or woman, you just look like Lawrence Taylor after he got finished playing a whole game of tackle football for 4 quarters. In the face, in the body, just crazy, right? All broken. At a certain point, your magnetism ain't going to be at the highest level. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, if you understand that magnetism is a thought, action, and speech, then you begin to do the things like, I've never seen a human being take herbs for, 6 months straight and have the type of issues that y'all say y'all be having. The thing is that y'all don't really be taking herbs on the daily. Y'all eat buffalo wings on the daily. Y'all drink Hennessy on the daily. Y'all drink motherfucking Bud Light on the daily. You did? So, in the form of magnetism, your ability to herb it up is going to increase it tenfold. Your wisdom, how things happen for you, men, ashwagandha, horny goat weed. Like, this is for men and women. If you look at Ayurvedic cultures, Chinese cultures, and England, everywhere, like most countries, bro. Most countries, they start their day off with tea, bro. Tea. They end their day with tea. And we in this country, we feel like if we end our day off with, some goddamn Casamigos, everything should be right and exact. And that's just not the case. So, everything results to a basic fundamental of sperm, and sperm, ovulation. And when we study the Hebrew, and when we study the spiritual development concepts of how we're going to, do these workings, well, we need to understand them from a sperm ovulation point of view. And my theory is that if you can understand spirituality from a basic level, this is why you hammer home these parts and you become like a real stickler for the understanding of masculine and feminine, because you want it to work. Right? I want everything to work out for you. And if you don't understand masculine and feminine, you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. You're not gonna charge your car with masculine and feminine. You ain't gonna have no electricity with masculine and feminine. Like, the literal polarities of electricity is masculine and feminine. Masculine charge, alternating charge, direct charge, interchanging, going back and forth. And this is how we produce energy. So if you're doing it alone, or you're not understanding your masculine and feminine energies internally, and you're just trying to get it, and you're being ambitious, and you're working very hard, I've lived long enough to see that people die working hard and never getting what they wanted out of life. They just worked hard. So our lives become as easy as we make it, or as hard as we make it. And so what are we doing on this planet of existence? Are we working hard, or are we trying to understand ourselves? Let me know in this chat. Like, I want to know, like, are you here to work hard, or are you here to understand yourself? Like Little Caesar's Pizza. They be hot and ready like Little Caesar's Pizza, and I just be studying the damn emperor. I be making my damn music. This girl's like, oh, I love your song so much. And then sent me like 2 straight nudes. I'm like, damn, you got me out here feeling like Lil Wayne or somebody. Now, are y'all here to understand yourselves, or are y'all here to work hard? That is the question. Because what is the emperor esoteric? What is the emperor saying about, what is the symbol alluding to? How does one become the emperor in their own lives? The emperor in their own ways of developing their spirituality. They unify their 3 minds. They unify their unconscious. They unify their subconscious, and they bring it into their conscious. And so you can say my unconscious is a very weird and disturbing place, and I don't want to deal with it. No, your unconscious is your emperor, empress, is your DNA. So you must unify and understand the unconscious. It's only crazy and fucked up because you haven't took the time to understand it. So this is why I've been going so hard on shadow work. This is why I've been going so hard in understanding this in my previous videos, because it's a very important thing, and I don't feel like talking about something one time at a shallow level brings about understanding. I feel like talking about things in a way that it is understood, it brings about understanding. Just rhetorics and just pointless words that leave you feeling good won't solve anything. Like I said, I've lived long enough to see many people die just simply working hard, right? And could have chose something different and would have ended up in the same circumstance, right? We all generally lead to the same circumstance. So why would you begin to just live a life where you don't understand yourself in the meantime, in between time, why would you then justify like, well, I have to work hard so I don't, whatever, when nah, you can work hard or you can understand yourself. And you could do a little bit of both. I work hard, but I also work hard to understand myself through my experiences, through my relationship, and also getting in tune with my truth, and not letting people kind of manipulate me into morality type of quandaries. Because at the end of the day, morality saying, well, this isn't right, this isn't good, right? But at the same time, if I needed a double cheeseburger, right, y'all wouldn't give me $2, right? So why would I then listen to people say this is right or this is wrong? No, I'm going to understand myself, because at the end of the day, the more that I understand myself, the more prosperous I become. The more easier it is to buy the things that I want to buy. The more easier it is to go to places that I want to go. Shit, it feel good to be able to do the things that I've always wanted to do. I don't care. Because when I didn't have shit, when I was on my ass, nobody cared. You ever been walking so long and seeing everybody just drive past you? And you like, damn, will I ever have a car? And then when I do have a car, boy, oh boy. And it's like that, bro. Life is hard and then it's easy. But at the same time, understand yourself through the polarities and the inflections of easy to difficult. So wherever you're at in life, and I know this to be true, the more that you sit with yourself and seek to understand yourself, you will then be introduced to a level of magnetism or a level of direction. And this just comes with sitting with yourself. Not, as young people, even older people have the peer pressure from family to do things every weekend. I've been looking at a lot of like soul food commentaries and how toxic that movie was. Them motherfuckers met every week to eat toxic ass food. But when you watching it, it's never being narrated like what they're doing is fucked up. Like what they're doing is killing everybody, or like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all of this to say you could be old and be led down narrow passageways. You could be young and led down narrow passageways. So that means that it takes strength to reduce the temptation to be led by people. To be led by your soul, it takes strength. It takes a point of recognizing the God royalty within yourself in the midst of people who is not doing the same work as you. So even understanding yourself becomes to be some form of a plight if you're not strong enough to find your own ways to if you're not willing to follow what yourself is telling you. Or are you sitting with yourself and you feel bad that you're sitting with yourself? Or do you sit with yourself and look at it as an opportunity to connect with your higher self? Or view it as an opportunity to understand your unconscious mind. So if you find yourself alone and you're in some form of anxiety, some form of disturbance, now it's time to do shadow work. Because now the shadow has become to a point where it can now verbalize itself. And this is where you open up your magical diary, your shadow work journal, or things of that nature, or your notebook, or your fucking phone, and you start verbalizing what your frustration is saying, right? Why is this so powerful? Because in your unconscious mind speaks to you every day in various ways. But because it's contained within the mind, you have no real way of seeing it with your emperor sight, right? Your emperor represents your eyes. It represents your sight. It represents your conscious mind. So your conscious mind and unconscious mind are not connected internally. For when you are in the spirit of pain or in the spirit of uncontrollable emotion, you can't perceive it inside your mind. But how you can begin to see it with your sight is that you begin to write. This is why the emperor is constituting intelligence. Constituting intelligence is the constitution, right? It's something that you write down. These are the laws that come from God, right? Just say it. Just for conversation sense. Well, everybody reads these laws and everybody follows these laws. Well, for the psychonaut or the one who is on the spiritual path, if you are on this path and you do not have a constitution, then what the fuck are you doing? You don't have no law. You don't have no ethics. You don't have no reality pertaining to source. You don't journal. You don't create. You don't have a YouTube channel. You don't have anything to make your spiritual journey real. So to unify the unconscious mind and conscious mind is actual work. To become an emperor is actual work. It's not just a feeling or a sensation or, I feel like I'm a god, I'm a princess, I'm a goddess. That's my Instagram name. The goddess of the whatever. What is the Constitution? Do you have a grimoire? People, shadow work, doing shadow work courses, doing shadow work powwows. What's your journaling like? Man, it's hard to journal. I have a hard time with journaling. So what that shows me is that we have a hard time tapping into our emperor, empress, understanding, where we must channel our unconscious mind, subconscious mind in a conscious fashion to where we are consciously aware of what's going on inside of us. I am consciously aware of what's going on inside of me because I've done the work. Press 1 if that makes sense to you or you can understand what I'm saying when I say what I say. So, if you want this article, because I kind of been moving around, I'm not actually following the article, I'm just in my lecture style. I've done the research, I've done the due diligence, I've put the work in to understand what I'm actually talking about. So I'm taking my information and I'm presenting a lecture. And, as a professor, as a person that is like a higher learning educator, we all have different styles of, teaching. And this is just my style of teaching. Now, you can't go to college and be like, I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the way you teach, because it's not about my teaching style. It's more of, getting into the understanding of, did you pass? Did you get a good grade? Right? And what we're talking about is the esoteric, occult understanding of magic when we study the tarot. And magic would be witchcraft, or taking base understandings, taking elements, combining these elements and using them as seeds for larger growth and development, taking ideas, thoughts, inclinations, and building upon them over time, which we see in gardens, we see in houses, cities, just the overall growth and development of life. And we might look at life and expansiveness and say, wow, this is amazing. But it all started at a root. And this root is the Hebrew alphabet. So when we study the emperor, we are also studying the Hebrew letter Hey. Hey is another way for saying the in Hebrew, right? Hey is the 5th letter in Hebrew alphabet, as well as a number of other Semitic languages' alphabets. Through the ancient Phoenician language, the letter Hey actually became the modern letter E. Okay? So Hey is the number 5 and is also the letter E, but it's also a window. So the letter E, right, is also our eyes. Now, what letter what letter does I begin with? E, even though I is also I, like the letter I, right? So I I, I, right? Also, when you say I, you're dealing with the ego. What letter starts with ego? E, ego, E, I, sight, right? You know, you see things at a surface. You at a disadvantage. Why? Because it's people who see things beneath the surface, right? If you play spades with me, right? I'm a whoop your fucking ass, right? I'm a do shit when we playing spades, and I done had to beat people's asses, like literally put hands on people. I'm a peaceful, loving person, right? But I done beat niggas' asses so bad in spades, right? In jail. Like, you know, cause a nigga tougher than you, he think he's smarter than you until you start playing spades. I see beneath the surface. I know by what her person bid, how he's shaking his hand. I know what cards he got to make him feel like he about to bid this, and I'm gonna make him play to way I want him to play. So if he say he got 8 books, I'm gonna make sure that I got 6 books and set his fucking ass, cause I'm always thinking like that. And most people just be happy just to be playing, and I'm not playing when I'm playing spades. I'm looking beneath the surface. I'm waxing ass if I'm playing spades. Now, if you use your sight just to look at what you see, you always gonna be disadvantaged. Why? I bought this car. It's a nice car. I'm driving it. It broke down. Now I'm shit out of luck. And now I gotta take it to a mechanic. What does a mechanic do? It look at the appearance of the car. It look deeper under the hood. It look okay. It diagnosed okay, and it fixed. All of this is This is an emperor. A mechanic is an emperor. Whatever you do, and you get paid for it, you are an emperor because you look beneath the surface. You use your eye and your ego different from the average person. Like the average person look at life this way. You look at life this way. You be like up under that shit. Like, ooh, right? This is the. And so the symbol for hi or hey is a window. Now, a window lets light in, and a window allows you to see out. But that window, when we dealing with Kabbalah, when we dealing with Hebrew, we are explaining the esoterics and metaphysical concepts of the body. So Beth or Bet is the house or the temple or the body. Every house, every body, every temple has a window. Body, house, temple, window, yod, soul. So as we study the Tarot, when you study the Bible, if you study mythology, I don't care what you study, you are studying the temple of God. And if you don't study that, then you don't understand yourself, and you don't understand shit. So of course you can't be talking about how you was raised, because how you was raised has nothing to do with how you understand yourself. So esoteric, light, knowledge, light gets brought into the house. Light gets brought into the eyes. Air brought into the vessel so we can survive. Spirit brought into your awareness so you can have discernment. People say discernment, whatever. Y'all be on Al Gore's internet talking about there ain't no good men. Y'all be on Al Gore's internet talking about all women are trash. You absolve all of that by one simple word: discernment. If I have discernment, I practice discernment, y'all. So the women that actually fuck with me is goddesses. And the women that don't fuck with me, they don't fuck with me. I'm not saying they bad or good, But my discernment determines the type of people that fuck with me, point blank, period. So if your discernment is saying that there is no good men out there, that's a result of your discernment. That's a result of your sight and inability to look beneath the surface to say, at the surface, there is no good men. At the surface, there's no good women. Y'all never have been on a date with a woman, bro. I could tell by the way y'all be verbalizing shit. If y'all been on a date in y'all life, y'all know at the surface, women is hell. In order to find a divine feminine that's actually gonna be somebody that you want to be with, you gotta be able to have real life discernment. Cause everybody in your face, bro, is not gonna be for the good of you. You gotta look at her placements. Oh, you got Leo placements. You an actor. You a spy. You like to perform. And you better get a fucking Oscar is all I'm saying. You better get an Oscar. Okay? So we're also talking about being able to have real conversations, real relationships, because we're able to deal with what we're like inputting into our system. So if I'm inputting into my system healthy love, prosperity, then my discernment, my attraction is all that I'm practicing. And do not get on my line, my email talking about I can't find people that I can build with, and you looking like Lawrence Taylor. You're not doing no bath work. You're not doing no rose work. You're not doing no tea work. You don't drink teas. You don't take baths. You don't practice womb health. And then you saying that you don't have nobody to build with. You don't build with yourself. You don't develop a pleasant energy with yourself. So why you think people are going to find it pleasant to be around you and you're not pleasant internally? You're not magnetic. You're not discerning because you're not doing the work to become that. You look at what other people got and think that what they got came easy. And 10 times out of 10, it fucking didn't. If you look at a beautiful woman, you don't know what it was like when she had to go through her ugly phase. You don't know what her awkward phase was like to make her motivated to want to take baths and take care of her skin like she do. You don't know the obesity that a person had to go through to get to a life of fitness. You don't know how hard it is to lose belly fat and things of that nature to have a six pack. So yeah, you want a six pack, but you don't want to do the work to get a six pack. And that's where it gets a little difficult and tricky. So being able to look at shit and think that, oh, everybody have that, and then be like, no, not really. You got to actually work internally to build up a level of understanding. And usually it's super simple shit, but you actually have to do that super simple shit, like journaling and taking baths. Like journaling and taking baths and having the type of energy that is very strong due to being intentional with the oils you put on. Like, what does lavender oil do on your skin in your daily routine? What does rose oil do? Oh, you have no idea, do you? Okay, good talk. Good talk. We're having a great talk here. We're having a wonderful talk. So, I'm going to go ahead and work towards closing this video out. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me yet again as we discuss the esoterics in a world where everybody is discussing the reason why boys don't like girls is because boys don't like girls. And girls don't like boys. So girls and boys need to be like each other. The black community is this, that, and the third. And I'm here to save it. Shout out y'all for rocking with me in the space of understanding esoteric concepts. So when we talk about the emperor, we are not talking about an actual emperor. We're talking about our ability to tap into our divinity and royalty internally. And because this is what is called a spiritual life. And then we are taking this spiritual life and we are making it a priority. One thing we know about an emperor is that he is very prosperous. So we can't be in our spiritual life and be broke as a joke and not have it lead to prosperity, whether it's goats, bears, lions, hay, herbs, tomatoes, whatever that represents prosperity. And it's also about, being connected to some type of skill and ability because you are doing the spiritual work. So 10 times out of 10, if you're saying, well, I don't have any skill or ability, I'm broke as a joke, I've been working hard, I bet you are frustrated. And I bet you are mad. And if you are mad and frustrated because you have no skill, talent, or ability, and you broke as a joke and you don't got no love in your life, the first thing you need to do is start to work through your frustration. How do I work through my frustration, Hood? When you frustrated, start journaling. Call it a grimoire. Call it a shadow book. Call it a magical diary. And every time you get pissed off that your life is fucked up, start writing. Every time that you want somebody to make love to you and you don't got a nigga there to, look you in your eyes and put you in the hucklebuck, start writing about how frustrated it is that you're not in that space. Don't start crying about the shit. Because crying is only going to make you be crying more. Crying is not going to give you no solutions because crying does not summon the assistance of deities. If you want to summon a deity, bitch, get you some herbs, get you a cauldron, get you a candle, and start working. Start doing some magical workings. Get Cunningham, ain't that spirit right there. Ain't nothing but spirit right there. I was like, get Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs and get the fucking work. Bitch, what do Lady Slipper do? Lady Slipper is used as a protective sachet as it guards against all manner of hexes, curses, and spells and evil eyes. So don't tell me how you under a hex and curses and spell and your ass don't got no Lady Slipper or no Lady's Mantle. Bitch, you don't got no kelp. You don't got no comfrey. You don't got shit. You don't got no Brioni. Nothing. I'm talking about how you ain't got shit going on for you. But you don't got no herbs. Right? So, we're talking about becoming spiritual and tapping into what it means to be spiritual. And you can be spiritual mentally. But the emperor is an action. The emperor is discipline in your spiritual life, in your spiritual world, creating a constitution surrounding what that is, and is usually found in your rage and frustration, and being able to journal it and be able to see it as opposed to having it just be in your mind. So what else is this? It's about directing your sex drive. So as a man, as a person that is becoming an emperor, you don't desire and pursue feminine energy. You let it magnetize you. You allow magnetism because you build up your electrical charge by being purpose driven, by working out every day. As a man, you got to work out every day. Your body keep the score, my friend. Your testosterone, you gonna get old, bro. And you gonna hate them days that you just sat on your ass. You're going to hate them days where you didn't get into the fucking gym and build that testosterone up, man. You gotta get up in that motherfucking gym, home workout, work outside, nigga. Do not be a lazy man. And this is not for magnetism or to get a woman, even though that's a benefit. But you're doing it for yourself, my guy. Right? The thing about love is that this process of right and spiritual being, having a human experience, and then taking that experience and moving it into the tarot, is that I am actively loving myself through these processes of learning. But it's also, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, 100,000. It's also an opportunity that I'm experiencing that women are loving me. You understand? Like that's the real shit. Like being able to be loved, right? And like I said, this is true for men and women. I'm not only a client, I'm the doing this work president, right? And because that I'm loving myself, it's just that I just don't care because I'm so happy, right? And you don't find this happiness loving yourself. You find happiness when people love you because they love themselves, because they magnetized you, and that's a different energy. And if you're not in your purpose, you can't actually be magnetized because nobody wants to magnetize an energy that's not purpose driven. Nobody is fantasizing that. So the emperor represents a window, and a window means a window. And as you focus on these divine things, as you focus on the light and knowledge that you're, focusing on, you not focusing on bullshit, you're not focusing on things that waste your time and waste your energy, I guarantee you that your life transforms. I guarantee you that the empress rises up out of you because it is what you focus on. Now, this is difficult. It's easier said than done because most people, they're completely comfortable with who they are as an ego, and they don't actually want to transform internally with the actual person that they truly are, which is an emperor. So another symbol of the emperor is spiritual growth, but spiritual growth that leads to transformation, right? Sometimes you, like in this profession or doing this type of work, people's spiritual growth up into a point that it requires a change, and then they stop growing spiritually and regress. They regress real bad, right? Because they don't want to actually change internally. They're just thinking that, spirituality is some cool shit, right? But usually spirituality is calling you to change, right? Because usually women have like specific biases towards men, but usually you have to transform those biases, right? To be a truth, but then sometimes that's like too much to change, too difficult to change, so they don't change it, and then they regress. So whatever we are saying, the emperor, we're also saying he, or he, which is the Hebrew word for the. It is the fifth Hebrew letter. It's also where we get our letter E from. And now this is our conscious mind, where we define, locate, and divide. So this is something that we have. We have this ability to do this. Now, the reason that I'm saying this is that it's not the king. Our ability to define, locate, and divide. It's just a process. But why am I saying this? Because if you do not channel your unconscious mind, then you utilize your hey, or your sight, or your conscious mind to make every single decision. So if things don't look good, then you don't deal with it. So if things do look good and it don't turn out the way you want it to turn out, then all you can be is frustrated, right? You got a nice house, you got a nice apartment, nice car. You're actually you're not happy. You're not in a space of bliss. You've prioritized what you see as what's going to be good, and you done fucked up, right? Like the detective said to Kane in Men's Society, you done fucked up, right? You done fucked up, right? Because it is not what you see that creates a vibration of peace, love, and harmony. It's actually what you don't see. So as we focus on the alternate dimensions, as we focus on Pan, as we focus on the spiritual foundation to the physical world, you got to be able to look at yourself differently too. This is the reality. So we come into this conscious process as a fool, not knowing that we are the empress and emperor. So this is how far we've gotten so far. We're going to work on the next card. Next, I don't even know what it is. It's either, I don't know. I'm doing this blind, and I'm gonna write I'm taking all of this, and then I'm gonna put it in a book. But if you want a preview to the book, go ahead and join my Substack, because I'll be writing a book right in front of y'all. And then once I go through each and every tarot card, I feel like that'll be a quality book. But like I said, we're going deep, deep, deep in the tarot, and I'm loving the process. So with that being said, man, for those of y'all who are interested, I said this at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to say it again. I'm about to open a Discord channel for free. None of this costs money unless you want to get a Shopify subscription. If you get a Shopify subscription, use the link in my bio. You get $100, I get $100, and I'm going to keep a Discord open to help you run and operate your store. I think your store will be much more better than my store, because, you know, I'm in a specific niche and doing a specific thing, and I want to help people like expand and do interesting and cool things. Everything you see on the Colombian Exchange is done by me. I don't outsource nothing, logos, graphics. Like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes in reference to people who are serious about building an e-commerce store, e-commerce brand, marketing. I'm not going to force your hand, but I will hold your hand depending on how sexy you is. We can take a walk in the park. I can hold your hand and we can talk about Shopify e-commerce if that's what you into. But regardless of that, I just want to see if we could work together. This is something that Spirit told me to do, and I just been kind of moving with Spirit through this process. So once again, if you want to start an e-commerce store utilizing Shopify and you want to talk to somebody about it, like I told y'all, I'm on the spectrum. I'm kind of slow. So if you want to hang out with me and you want to do stuff, I'm going to be real weird and awkward. I'm going to be like, you know, I don't eat meat. So every restaurant we go to, I'm going to just be ordering cauliflower fries and shit. I'm going to just be weird and awkward to your social situation. But if you want to talk about running and operating a Shopify store, boy, I turned into a whole savant. I turned into that nigga from The Beautiful Mind. You feel me? So this ain't nothing that's going to cost you anything if you're willing to make a 3-month commitment to building an e-commerce platform. It's a lot that goes into it. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, depending on what you got to do, some of y'all don't even got no jobs and shit like that. And y'all need to figure out a way to make money. If you want to do drop shipping, I drop ship from my shop. I sell products from my shop. I take my Shopify store when I'm doing events. I use my Shopify store to do POS, means point of sale, where I'm actually there. I love my Shopify site, and it really helps me take care of my 4 children. Is one of my major multiple streams of income. But I just want to share and I want to grow with y'all. And I was just thinking, like, maybe it's people that watch my videos that might be like, damn, this sounds like a good idea and I want to invest in it. And you're not investing in me. You're not giving me shit, right? You're giving me $0 for anything. The only thing that you would pay for is the Shopify site. And if you wanted to get any apps or things of that nature. But what I noticed about the Shopify app, for me anyways, the subscription pays for itself. All of my apps pay for itself, right, with my monthly sales. So, and I'm in the weirdest niche of ever, spiritual education. And you don't even have, you could sell regular, open up a soap shop. You know what I'm saying? You can open up any type of store, and if you market it and if you brand it as the number one soap store on the internet, and you can have all of these different soaps, right? And like, I don't know, the possibilities is endless. I could just talk for days on the subject. So if y'all click the link and y'all sign up for Shopify, let me know so I can add you to the Discord. All right. So shout out to y'all. Really appreciate y'all for listening, and hope you gain something from this video. Be sure that if you watch this video again, take notes, because for me to put this video together, for me to talk about this stuff, it actually was a lot of notes. So it's cool I feel like if you cool and you watching it, and that's cool, that's what's up. But at a certain point, you're gonna have to put pen to paper and actually understand this stuff for yourself. And so I'm just kind of like laying the foundation, but hopefully many people walk behind me and do this work and expand their knowledge of understanding this esoteric, hidden, inner science. But with that said, man, y'all have a good rest of y'all day. I'm the Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com. Be sure to follow me on Instagram.
Look at me, where she wanna be. Call me Freaky T, off the leash. I feel like a dog, I get hella free. Keep it P, never needed you, but you needed me. I got cream, make up pretty clean. Push yourself between. I get tough in the moment, so I feel like baby king. First is black, the boss setting, so I guess I baby B. Bitch, I'm cold, see like some that you know it's giving cream. I got pros, when there's not enough, come fill a nigga team.
I'm a chill. I tell that nigga, that nigga can't. He like a baby carry that on my hair. On my head, nigga sip. This shawty got my shirt. Got me like a tall black boy. I get that nigga live. It's a room. I'm a house. Give a fuck up, bitch. Never see me something from my bitch. She don't switch.
Push a T, push a pound of weed. Need a brand new weed. Kill my dog, pussy pick up, please. I go Keanu Reeves. You don't go, why you telling me? Just let a nigga see. Honestly, I'm not feeling you and you not feeling me. Keep it G, welcome at that age, just let that nigga be. TLC, no I'm finna creep my phone on D&D. That's my song, run that shit to beat, I'm run that shit to sleep. You ain't P, but you know you beat to me, he beat his me.
I'm a chill. I tell that nigga, he like a baby carry that on my hair. On my head, nigga